Hello. This lesson I'm going to be using my friend Zelda again, but we're going to be using the lighter end of the value scale for the collage pieces. Okay, here I have my 6 by 8 transferable. This piece is an inch large or an inch side, so what is that? An 8 by 10. So an 8 by 10 piece of this is 123 pound Arches paper. I'm going to do this on paper. It's cream. These are my 5 pieces of collage paper that I'm going to use. They're different whites. So that's what the palette is going to be for this lesson, is just pick 5 different whites to use. And I just chose to use a darker cream color for the background. Here is my transfer paper, and I'm just going to go ahead and transfer this onto my paper. I've just given this a look over, and the first thing I want to do is I want to put my lightest white on her face and neck and chest. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to transfer that again. I'm going to cut it out. I'm going to transfer it onto this piece. Go up here with it. And I might as well draw in the eye again. And the jawline. Let's see what I got. No, I think that'll be fine. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this out. I am actually going to tear the hairline above. I'm going to tear it around here and then tear it over here. Cut here and then cut along these edges, because I know I'm going to want to put paper overlapping that. Another piece of collage paper that's going to overlap there and overlap here on the hairline. So I'm going to tear those and cut the rest. This is heavy paper. It's watercolor paper, so it's pretty stiff. Okay, so I was looking for the lighter areas in her dress, and so that's why I've put what I thought was the next lightest value of paper down here for the dress. And now I'm going to put in the collar with the darker piece, and then I'm going to play around with the hair as well. Okay, so I just want to recap here. I ended up putting my paper on a board and taping it down because it was starting to pucker a little bit with the glue. But anyway, so after I put down the white for her face, I put down the next lightest piece for her dress. I was looking at the lightest, I was trying to find the lightest part of her dress. And I wanted to put down a big piece first. So this is the piece that I ended up with after I had kind of looked at her dress and saw that this is what I wanted to do. I'll eventually put a lighter piece up here as well once I get that piece in. But then after that, I went to my darkest piece and I wanted to use that for around the collar and then parts of her hair. And I tore the edge of her hair, and I overlapped, and you can see that I've overlapped the paper over this initial piece, and I will go back in and put another piece there just so that line doesn't show through. This was a thin piece of paper, so sometimes that would happen. And so the next I'm going to find a piece for here and here. Okay, so I'm going to take this darker value and put it on this side of her face here. And I think it's like right about there would be good. But I think I want a torn edge, so I'm just going to go ahead, tear this edge. So pretty much have everything covered except maybe playing around up here, and then I can start to put different layers in on the dress. Let's see if I want a piece. I think I want a piece down here under her chin. Okay, there is this other piece of paper that I haven't used yet, so I'm going to use that for highlighting the shoulder here. Okay, so I like what's going on, and I'm just now going to go in and start adding, I guess you could say detail to what I've got going on here. Adding pieces in through her dress that I feel can accentuate what's going on with that. Just some thoughts. And let's see. Adding some highlight into the hair. So this is kind of what I'm thinking of doing, and then I'm going to start working with that. So the process is a bit like painting with paper. You start with, I guess you could say, the underpainting, and then just start to gradually build up from there, adding different elements, accents, that type of thing. if this does it for me. Something that doesn't look so contrived. I guess that one was looking a little too contrived for me. So see if I can make this piece seem a little bit more organic, I guess. I don't want it to look too similar, and that's what it's starting to look like to me, and I don't know. I think what I want to do is have it maybe I need to have that piece show a little bit more. Let me see. Again, without it looking too contrived. I just want to be careful that the two shoulders and the two different sides not that they don't start to mirror each other. You want them to have their own language. And still looking down here, I'm wondering, but this is all, I know I want to go back in with pencil and redraw the face, and go back in with pencil and just kind of draw on top of this collage. And I'm thinking that I want to define this arm with some pencil. So I'm going to go with that still. I'm still feeling that that's how I want to resolve down here, is just with some pencils. So I think I'm good for the dress. I think it's looking just fine and dandy. And I'm going to go up here now and start to work up in the hair, hat, or whatever you want to choose to do with it. Okay, so I found the piece I wanted, which is good. And now I'm just going to get some more pieces in her hair here. Okay, so there's the collage. So now I'm going to go in with a pencil and draw the rest of it in. And just knowing that this is all different types of paper, it's going to take the pencil differently. There might be places where there's some glue where the pencil's not going to take it all. So I'm just going to start to lightly go in first and just take my time and go slowly, using the image as my reference. And also you can look at the image, the drawing image that came with the lesson as well as a reference. Yeah, I'm going to just kind of keep it loose and sketchy because that's kind of what the paper's doing. So I hope you had fun with that. I think it's good to see what you can do with the dark values, and on the flip side, what you can do with lighter values. So I hope you enjoyed that lesson. Next lesson, I'm going to be using Zelda again. This time, or next time, I'm going to be using a different collage palette.